guys are watching this, it'll be the day after it ended. So, but the day I'm recording this, I'm doing this in 2 parts. I'm recording this the night after night 1. So I have not seen night 2 yet. It has not happened yet. And then after tomorrow, night 2, I'm gonna record another one of these and then just like edit them together. So it'll be all one thing. But I just wanted to have night 1 fresh in my mind. And then also kind of like give predictions at the end of this, what I think is going to happen tomorrow. A little bit. So, as you guys know with me, I always take my notes whenever I talk about these sporting events, sports entertainment events, whatever. These are my notes. It's actually more than that. There's another 2 pages of notes that I took. But you guys know me, I like to come prepared. Now, 2 things off the top. I don't do spoiler-free talks about any of this stuff, so for whatever reason, if you haven't seen it yet, and you want to see it, and you're looking up Wrestlemania 40 ASMR on YouTube, don't watch this, because I'm going to spoil things. Second of all, this is only my 2nd ever WWE event that I'm watching. If you haven't followed my channel, if this is the first time you're seeing me, my first ever WWE event that I watched was the Perth Elimination Chamber earlier this year, and I got hooked after that. Obviously I have a little bit of things I just learned through cultural osmosis. You know, I've played a couple WWE video games over the years, just a little bit, but as far as like watching it, this is the first time. Well, the 2nd time, but you know what I mean. And this is my first ever WrestleMania, so if I get, like, if I don't know somebody's name, if I don't know who somebody is, if I, like, don't know the name of a move or something, that's why. I'm new to this, right? This is a new world for me, but I'm just hooked. This Cody Rhodes storyline especially has hooked me. I'm 100% all in on Cody Rhodes. Dude I'm like, dude, should I bleach my hair? Not that, like, I'm just like, could I pull off bleached hair? And my girlfriend was like, I don't think you can pull off bleached hair. I think she might be right, unfortunately, but I don't know, I might try it. So anyways, night 1, let's talk about that now. I think there's something else I want to say off the top here. Can't think of anything. So, Meek Mill gives us a pretty dope intro. Meek Mill's from Philly, of course. This took place in Philly, WrestleMania 40. There was a little bit of a USA chant that was going after the game, or after the anthem, excuse me. Then Triple H comes out to the game. Now again, I haven't really watched wrestling before, but I've always loved Triple H. Like, I loved his vibe, so I've always kind of just said, like, Triple H is my favorite wrestler. Like, his entrance goes hard. I think he's cool. And if I'm not mistaken, he's been coming out to like a different song since he retired and became the chief creative officer. But he came out to the game, which is my favorite entrance song of his, so that was really cool to see. Had a very short but sweet little welcome to WrestleMania thing going. Our first match, we have Rhea Ripley defending the title against Becky Lynch. Now, I like Rhea Ripley, she's dope. You know, she's from here, Australia. I love her vibe. But honestly, I thought this one could have gone either way. Because Becky Lynch, I know Becky Lynch has been a big name for a while. She's been a women's champ before. So I was like, maybe they're giving her another push. So Motionless in White was live there in the audience for Rhea's entrance, which I thought was really cool. Just a couple cool moments. Becky reversed a suplex. I thought that was pretty nice. And I thought that the Prime logo was not as distracting as I thought it would be. The center ring Prime logo. It wasn't colorful or anything, which I think helped. Honestly, I found the advertisements on I think they're called turnbuckles, the things that are on the ropes, on the corners of the ropes. Those were more distracting in my opinion than the center ring logo. Yeah, and the dude wipes on the corners, that was distracting as well. And early on, Becky was reversing everything. Then Rhea hit a triple powerbomb on Becky. Just boom, 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 triple powerbomb. Becky kicked out at 2. And they were saying like Becky was super sick. Like apparently she had a fever or something. I don't know if that was like a kayfabe thing or if she actually was sick. But if so, she was like moving really well if she actually was sick. Becky kicked out after a riptide and the crowd went absolutely nuts. Becky gets Rhea in a disarmor, then Rhea reverses, and then Becky reverses the reversal. And then the match ends in Rhea retaining the championship. And it was interesting because I'm like, because it feels like Rhea's she's held it for over a year now, I think. It might be creeping up on 2 years, I'm not 100% sure. I thought she was going to lose it to anybody. She might lose it to Becky, because I know Becky's another big name. Now, Tiffany Stratton, I really liked her in the last WrestleMania. Some people, at the Elimination Chamber, some people pointed out to me that she was actually new. She was on the NXT, the development show, and she just came up like recently, just before Elimination Chamber, but like she's already kind of become a fan favorite. So I'm like, does she maybe get a title shot? Or is she like too new for that? Like, does she have to like earn her stripes for a few years? And then this chick just came in, she actually had a match later in the day, Jade Carhill, I think her name is. And she looked really good, and she was getting like a ton of crowd love. I think she's like a veteran. I don't know if she's like been in WWE before, then left, then came back, but so maybe they're setting up something with her and Rhea. I don't know. But like I said, I'm not super familiar with the roster, but just kind of looking at the women's roster, I'm like, well, if Becky isn't the one to take the championship off of her, then who will be? Because Nia Jax tried and failed. Becky has now tried and failed. So I don't know. Now we come to the tag team ladder match. This ended up being one of the more fun matches of the night. It was just chaos. And I was thinking, like, logistically, how do you even plan something like this out? Like, I know obviously, like, the wrestlers, they're doing some choreography and practicing spots for their matches. But when you have that many people in the ring at the same time, like, how do you even choreograph that? But I like that it was an opportunity to split the titles. That's interesting, because I think it was both the Raw and the SmackDown tag team titles. So you had the opportunity to split those, because I think Judgment Day was holding both. I said I don't really have a dog in this fight. I didn't really know any of the people involved in this. Outside of New Catch Republic, who I kind of trash talked a little bit in the Elimination Chamber video. I just said I thought their name was stupid. But then once I saw that R-Truth is in this, like, okay, I want R-Truth to win. Because I think R-Truth is just hilarious, and dude's like a veteran. he has to be like in his mid-50s by now, and he's still in great shape. He's still out there working. Tyler Bate did this crazy spot. Finn Balor was holding the ladder. Tyler Bate picks him up and spins him around while he's holding the ladder. And the ladder ends up hitting somebody who's trying to get into the ring. I think it might have been Truth. Then there's a double moonsault off the ladders. And then R-Truth is trying to get a hot tag. Even though it's not that kind of match. He ends up getting it. He comes in and he ends up pinning Finn Balor. Now, of course, it's not a pinfall match. But I loved that the crowd, like, got into it. The crowd counted down. And the crowd cheered it on like he won. And then Pat McAfee was even, like, buying into it. Pat McAfee was like, R-Truth wins. And I know some fans, I don't know, I've heard that some fans don't really like Pat McAfee in WWE, but I think he does very good. I think he's funny on the mic. It seems like he's like fully bought in some nights. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, they grab the SmackDown titles. Then Waller gets tossed through a ladder out of the ring, or off the ladder, even onto a ladder outside the ring, and it like completely breaks. But like you can see, it's like full of like this pink stuff, so I think the ladders are made out of insulation or something. Because later on, one of the ladders, like the leg was broken. So I don't think they're using real ladders anymore. I think they used to. But these ones honestly look like they're made of like fiberglass insulation or something like that. Then tables are brought out. And then DIY and New Kent Republic have these, like, some crazy spots where, like, they're jumping off ladders, they get thrown through a table. Like, they were putting in a ton of work. Then R-Truth climbs the ladder and he gets the belts. So Awesome Truth, which is R-Truth and The Miz, are your Raw Tag Team Champs. Now, I don't expect them to hold that title for long. But it was just really cool seeing R-Truth get a win at Wrestlemania. He had some really funny spots. And honestly, whatever they are paying R-Truth is not enough. Now these next two matches for me were kind of lackluster. I kind of felt myself like, checking my phone a little bit, not really being into them. And that was the first one was the Dom Mysterio Escobar versus Rey Mysterio Andrade match. The second one was Jimmy versus Jey Uso. So the Dom versus Rey match, I loved it. Dominic Mysterio comes out, Pat McAfee just goes, "This guy stinks." Like, just, you know, for me, you know, growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, like, Rey Mysterio was, like, everywhere. Like, dude, people loved Rey Mysterio back then, and I still, like, I love the lucha masks. Even before getting into WWE, I considered buying, like, a luchador mask just because Rey Mysterio made them so cool, right? So it's cool at his age to see Rey still going out there. They had this really cool spot. Andrade put Rey up onto his shoulders and they do a crossbody splash from the top rope. And I thought Rey was looking a little bit old in there, but you know, that's alright. He hits the 619, that's good. And I've never heard of Andrade before, but dude was putting in work. Like, he had some really good moves. I thought Andrade looked, you know, super athletic. He seemed really good in the ring. I don't know if he's a big name or not. I don't know, like, if he's new, but if he is new, I could see this guy being like a big name because his work rate was crazy. He was hitting some really stop him, and then Rey Mysterio wins, and he gets the pin. And then it's revealed that the guys in the mask are Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Like, that bit was kind of cool, but I don't know, for me, overall, this felt like an underwhelming match. Sorry, my throat was just, like, weirdly dry. I don't know, I could feel my voice really straining there. Okay, the next match. Also, I wasn't really that big of a fan of it. It's Jimmy versus Jey Uso. Jay gets injured by Lil Wayne, who goes down like the ramp with him. Wayne sounded a little bit rough now. I have a fun story. I have seen Lil Wayne in concert 3 times. Each time, he was more late than the last time. Lil Wayne always has put on a great show. Every time I've seen him, he'll do the first half of a song, then just say thank you to the crowd, and then just start another song. So he does a ton of songs, but he's only doing the first half of every song. It's 2 minutes each song. But one time he was legit 2 hours late, and his DJ was trying to keep the crowd hyped up for the whole 2 hours. And was trying to get us chant Wayne and stuff like that. By the end, people were just dog, just bring him out here, dude. Anyways, Jimmy starts coming down. Jay takes him out on the ramp. And I said Jay's outfit, dope. The all white, the white pants. And the crowd was kinda dead on the match. I'm gonna lie, the crowd had weird vibes all night. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if it was an audio issue or what it was. And apparently there were still some tickets available, so there were 73,000 people there. But they were talking about there's still tickets available for night 2, stuff like that. So I don't know, there were just weird vibes with the crowd. I'll talk about that a little bit later at the main event, but there's lots of back and forth between the 2 of them, and so many super kicks. Just kicking the snot out of each other. Just kick, 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 kick. Then Jimmy does this spot. He's apologizing, saying he's sorry. I mean, now this could be a fake apology. Jay bites on it. Jimmy hits him with a big super kick. Goes for the pin. Jay kicks out. Hits him with a splash. Jay wins. It was whatever, and I don't know what's gonna happen, because after night 2, spoiler alert, this whole thing is spoilers, but Bloodline rules night 2, right? You're assuming Jimmy and Jay are both gonna show up, obviously on opposite sides of that match for Bloodline rules. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with these 2 beyond that, because it's he's gonna have these brothers keep doing the same feud storyline. I feel you need to do something different, especially if Roman loses and Roman takes a break for a little while. What do these 2 guys do? That's gonna be interesting to see how they get booked. Now we have Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Now, if you'll remember, if you watched my Elimination Chamber video, Naomi was my favorite in that women's match that Becky Lynch ended up winning. And she ended up going out early in that match. But I was oh cool, Naomi's back. I really liked her in Elimination Chamber. And she was with Bianca Belair and Jade. I didn't write Jade's last name. I think it's Cargill. And apparently, I think this was Jade's. They're saying it was her first WWE match. I don't know if she re-signed, if she came from AEW or something. I don't know. But her first match, and it was a Mania. I thought that was pretty cool. Kyrie had some great wild hair. Loved that. Bianca had a moonsault pin attempt against all 3 members of Damage Control. I thought that was nice. Jade comes in, the crowd loses their mind earlier match. They had a "We Want Jade" chant. Jade just wrecked absolutely everybody. And then she pins Dakota and wins. And there's a couple issues with this match. It kind of felt like a squash match. Like, Damage Control didn't really do anything the whole fight, the whole match. And it wasn't really a 3v3. It would be one of either Bianca, Jade, or Naomi coming in and facing all three of Damage Control at the same time. And like somehow beating them in the 1v3. And then somebody else would come in and do the same thing. So I was like, this isn't really a 3v3. And when you compare that to the ladder match from earlier where you had like 6 people in the ring at the same time, I don't know, it felt a little bit lazy, and it really felt like Naomi didn't do anything. Like, she was the one I wanted to see. And just like Elimination Chamber where she went out early, she didn't really do anything in this match against Damage Control either, so I was a little disappointed with that. Now we have the match that was personally my favorite match of night 1, and that was Gunther versus Sami Zayn. And immediately I was getting Rocky IV vibes. You have I know he's Austrian, but like they're trying to make him seem like he's German, right? And obviously German isn't Russian and Drago and all that, but it was like he was basically being Ivan Drago. And Sammy was like Rocky, like they're like, you can't beat him. There's nothing you can do. You're out of shape. You're down on your luck. You're gonna die in there, kid. You know, like Rocky. Sami Zayn's coming in. Kevin Owens and his wife is there. His kid's there. And it's like, okay, they're hamming this up. This is the feel-good story, and then Gunther just comes out like a villain. The black and white, right? Match is all Gunther early, just beating the hell out of Sami Zayn. They have a moment of back and forth chops, and Sami takes a huge clothesline, did like a double front flip over the clothesline. Like, Sami, I haven't really watched any of Sami Zayn's matches. Dude can sell so good. Like, dude is a pro. He was selling some huge hits, taking some big bumps. Sami kicks out for a huge bomb, then Sami has a huge kick. I think they call it a haluva kick. But like, I think it's supposed to be like a hell of a kick, but they have to like say it funny because of censorship. Gunther kicks out at 2. Sami hits another huge clothesline, and then 2 power bombs, but Sami kicks out again. Now I thought Gunther was gonna win this because dude's on a super long streak. He's held the Intercontinental title for 666 days. And I was like, yeah, I think Gunther might win this again. But then when Sami kicked out after that, I was like, hold on. We might be getting a win here. Then Gunther starts talking trash to Sami's wife as Sami's like doing a Hulkamania type thing, like he's hulking up, like punching the ground. And then he hits Gunther with a brain buster, which was like it was a crazy move. Gunther goes to the rope, Sami hits him with a kick, and then Sami pins Gunther and wins. Now, this gets interesting, because Gunther held the title for that long, right? So you're assuming, okay, they're taking the title off of him because they're gonna like put him up into the main event, right? Now, I'm making the assumption here, I'm operating on the assumption that Cody Rhodes is gonna win night 2. By the time this video comes out, we'll know for sure, but at this moment I don't. What do they do with Gunther now? Like I said, I think he goes main event, but okay, let's say Cody wins night 2. He has the WWE title. Does Gunther go for that? Because apparently they have a big pay-per-view in Berlin coming up. But then Cody only has the title for a couple of months, right? And it seems like Gunther's whole shtick is like he gets a title and he holds it for a long time, and like nobody can beat him, right? So let's say he goes and he goes goes against Cody for the WWE title, beats Cody, becomes WWE champion. Are we gonna have like another 500 plus day title reign right after Roman? You know, again, all assumptions here. And again, it's gonna be if it is Gunther that takes it off Cody, not only does Cody only have it for a couple months, which is like the biggest face in the company, and he doesn't even get to like take the title to the next WrestleMania. You think that might be a little bit weird? But then you have another heel who has the title, presumably given Gunther's character, holding the title for a very, very long time. Or does he go after the winner of the the Seth Rollins Drew McIntyre fight? And does he try to take the World Heavyweight title? But I was also under the assumption that WWE wants to unify those titles and have it only be one belt. So I actually don't know. It's going to be interesting either way. I feel like they have to strike a real good balancing act here. Again, assuming Cody gets the title, fans want to see Cody with the belt. He's like the number one, he's the top face, number one merch sales, all that. It's kind of been linked at this point. They signed MJF. Presumably he's gonna want to get a shot at a title at some point. And like, I know this might be unpopular, but Logan Paul is probably gonna want to become a main event guy. He's kind of like a mid-card title guy right now. I don't know. I'm assuming Logan Paul's probably gonna lose night 2. Maybe he goes for World Heavyweight or Universal title. Starts challenging there. I think WWE signed this dude Braun Breaker. I don't know much about him, but a lot of people are really hype on him. Like, he might be trying to push for that. Assuming Cody wins the WWE title, does Roman try to take it back? Does Seth Rollins try to get it? Does Drew McIntyre try to get it? CM Punk is still around. Like, I don't know. I know Gunther wants to be a main event guy. That's probably where he's going next. Like, I don't know. Again, I just started watching. But I feel like that has the potential to get really messy if they don't walk this tightrope just perfectly. Now we have Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. Cody comes out with a new outfit. I don't like it as much as his old outfit. And then Seth came out with whatever that was he was wearing. He had a big, like, wedding trail tail thing and like a big flower on his shoulder. Rock came out and there was like a fire logo on the ground. And he was holding a championship belt. I'm not sure what belt that was, but he was holding one. What was interesting is Roman got the worst response from the crowd. Like, basically nobody was giving much of a response during his entrance. And I thought it was interesting also that Rock looked very slim. I don't know if you remember a few years back, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago at this point, maybe a little bit longer, that photo of Rock on the set of one of his movies, where dude was just he looked like a boulder, bald, like just super red, because he was probably on tons of gear at the time, just like huge, and he looked slim compared to where he used to be. So I don't know if it's just age catching up with him. I don't know if he isn't lifting as much as he used to. I don't know if maybe he's not juicing anymore. Maybe he's just like on TRT or something. I don't know, but he was noticeably skinny by his standards. And Roman was as well. Honestly, Roman did not look as big as he has been before. But now I have heard that Roman has really been struggling with the medication that he takes for his leukemia. Apparently, it causes a lot of fatigue. It can cause muscle wasting. insomnia, things like that. So maybe it's a result of the medication. God forbid, I don't know, maybe the leukemia's come back, I don't know. Actually, Pat McAfee said something that I don't know if he was supposed to. He said, Pat McAfee said, that man is battling leukemia as we speak. Now, I thought his leukemia was in remission, so I don't know if it's come back and they just haven't said anything. But I thought that was really a weird comment by Pat McAfee. Anyways, that's a tangent. There's a very, very long stare down before the match. And I said I'd talk about this. The crowd did not really seem into it. There wasn't a lot of cheers. There wasn't a lot of anything. They had this probably 3-minute stare down. And the crowd was just kind of quiet. It was really weird. Rock comes in versus Seth. Very slow start to the match. The Rock was looking a little bit rusty, but he was working the crowd. You know, lots of pauses, lots of letting moments breathe. Seth spits prime energy in Rock's eyes, and Rock was still getting crowd love. Like I've said it on video, but I've been thinking it. They've done everything in their power to get people to turn on The Rock. They've changed his theme song, his outfit. They've had him just do like unspeakably cruel things, whipping Cody with the belt, giving the bloody belt to his mom, taunting Cody's parents. Like, they're making The Rock do some absolutely despicable bad guy things. But no matter what they do, the crowds are still cheering the guy. Like, I think The Rock is like trying as hard as he can, and WWE is trying as hard as they can to get crowds to start booing the guy, but they just like are refusing to do it. It's really interesting. It's kind of like, what's it gonna take to get people to boo The Rock? Seth and The Rock, and then Cody and Roman split off and start doing separate things. And I thought they were outside of the ring way too much. Way too much. They were outside the ring for like at least 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. It's just, it was weird. Seth sold his knee injury, and by that point I was like, there hasn't been a single big spot. Like in the first 20 minutes of the match, there hadn't really been a big spot. There was like a couple little things, but and now I know these guys, you know, have matches on night 2, so they probably don't want to risk something, but Seth counters Superman punch with a neck breaker. Rock hits a low blow on Seth, and the match was finally starting to pick up a little bit. Seth hit a huge kick on The Rock. Cody versus Roman. Cody gets a pin attempt, but Roman kicks out at 2. Now I thought it was interesting whenever it was just Cody and Roman. Roman didn't really seem like much of a threat to Cody. Like, Cody was pretty much always beating Roman when they were one-on-one. It was mainly when it was both Roman and The Rock against Cody, or Cody versus The Rock, that he was struggling. I said Roman was taking some huge bumps, and then the crowd is just like booing everybody. Like, Cody was trying to fire the crowd up. The crowd was booing Cody. The crowd was booing Seth. Roman held a finger up and tried to get the crowd to like acknowledge him, and then the crowd was booing Roman. The only person the crowd was cheering for was The Rock. And it's like, why are you guys cheering the part-time dude who he's leaving to go do a movie? Like, after WrestleMania, he's gone. These guys are the ones that are gonna stick around, and you're booing all of them. It was just really weird. Cody and Rock have a moment. The Rock starts taunting Cody's mom. Rock starts at people's elbow, but then Cody hits a Cody cutter to counter it, and the crowd booed like crazy right there. That was like Cody, like a perfect Cody cutter counter. Like, it was like picture perfect. It was an amazing spot. I jumped up out of my seat because I thought he was gonna eat at people's elbow. this perfect counter, and the crowd booed him for countering The Rock. It's like, what are you guys booing us for? Seth saves Cody from a Roman spear, and then Roman spears The Rock, and The Rock just sold it so good. He was like, just blink. And then Roman and Rock have this moment staring at each other. Then Cody puts Rock through a table, and that was really the first time that the crowd cheered on Cody. He put Rock through a table, and the crowd went nuts. And honestly, good on Rock at his age. I think he's like, what, in his late 40s now. Not only did he ate a full speed Roman Reigns spear, he got put through a table. Then Roman spears Seth through a barrier. Rock lands a people's elbow on Cody. Rock pins Cody, and now we have Bloodline rules for night 2. Now that was interesting because I kind of assumed Seth Rollins would eat the pin. Because I think, a lot of people kind of assume Seth Rollins is going to lose night 2. I think he will. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win the title. So in Seth's mind, this weekend is kind of a bad weekend. Lose the tag team, but he'll probably lose his belt. So I guess he was probably like, Cody, you need to eat this pin. Like, I'm not getting pinned 2 nights in a row. Because Seth Rollins, he's still a main event guy after this WrestleMania. If Cody has the title, whoever ends up with it, he's gonna want to try and get it. So obviously there's a temporary alliance. Now this match was good, but it was not the best of the night. In my opinion, the ladder match was better. Like I said, Gunther versus Sammy was my match of the night. I would say either this is number 3 or 4 with Rhea and Becky in the other spot, 3 or 4. Yeah, I don't know, it was like I said, it was really weird crowd vibes, which kind of made the whole match feel weird, because every time anybody in the ring was trying to like play something to the crowd was just not reacting properly. It's going to be interesting to see how that works night 2, especially because like The Rock is not going to be the centerpiece of that match, because they were booing both Roman and Cody. So I was like, wait, well, who gets booed night 2 then? Like, do you hate both these dudes? Yeah, so predictions for night 2. Let me look at all the cards. Because really, the ones I knew are Seth and Drew, and then obviously the main event. Now, I always assumed Cody and Seth were going to lose this match because you get Bloodline rules night 2. And I, like many others, assume night 2 is going to be an overbooked, beautiful disaster. I think Bloodline rules is going to happen. You're going to have all the interferences on Cody. I don't think Seth is going to be helping Cody night 2. Because obviously Seth is going to be busy with his match with Drew McIntyre. So it's Cody and then presumably Jey Uso helping him out against Roman, who with the Bloodline rules will have Jimmy Uso, Solo, Sikoa, and The Rock. Now, a lot of people have speculated about this. I think either one of or both of either John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to show up tomorrow to help Cody win. I think Cena is perhaps more likely. I think it's going to be Solo Sikoa just beating Cody up. Bloodline rules, maybe everybody taking turns. And then the trumpets are going to hit and John Cena's going to come in. Or the glass is going to shatter and Stone Cold's going to come in. Or, preferably for me, trumpets hit, John Cena comes in, John Cena saves Cody from Solo Sikoa while Jay is stopping Jimmy. Then The Rock shows up, and then it's The Rock and Roman beating up Cody. Roman looks like he's gonna get the pin on Cody again, and then the glass shatters and Stone Cold comes in. That's my opinion. The other option is The Rock. The other option is that The Rock turns on Roman. He comes out. You think that he's gonna help Roman win, but he helps Cody win, and the whole night one spear and other things play into that. I don't know. My prediction, though, I've been saying I think night one Cody loses. Night 2, Cody wins. Because if Roman wins night 2 and he retains, I don't know what you do with his character. I don't know what storylines you make from going forward. I don't know who challenges him. And then I don't know what you do with Cody if Cody loses night 2. Because you basically in one weekend have completely squashed Cody and the fans aren't going to care anymore. And he's the biggest face. But again, we're going to know all these answers by the time this video comes out. So, night 2, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament in a 6-man tag team street fight. I do not have a prediction for that match. I like Bobby Lashley though, so I'll say he wins. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Now, AJ Styles put a statement today that makes me think he might be retiring. Because he's talking about how his body hurts, he struggles to get out of bed, things like that. So if AJ Styles is retiring, I think LA Knight wins. Because LA Knight's kind of on the rise right now. So I'll say LA Knight. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens wins this. And I think Randy Orton is going to challenge Cody for the title. And Cody will beat him like in his first title defense. I could maybe see Logan Paul winning this, but I have a feeling Logan Paul might be trying to push up to be a main event guy and try to push for a bigger title like heavyweight. Io Sky versus Bayley. I don't know, give me Bayley. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I think Drew's gonna win that. Then Roman Reigns versus Cody. I think it's gonna be Cody. And I think it's gonna be an overbooked, beautiful match. Anyways, that's that. And this is the end of part 1. But you guys aren't gonna, for you guys, no time at all is gonna pass. But I now have to go to bed. I'm gonna ruminate on this, and then I will be back right after the end of night. Dos. Man, that was crazy. That was something else. This is my first WrestleMania, and I feel like I just saw the best one. Like, man, I'm a little emotional. Like, I watched it a few hours ago, but just like rewatching some clips, getting ready for this video, like, man, that was spectacular. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that cricket noise. The crickets are going nuts tonight. I don't know why. They're chirping like crazy. Night 2, man, all those complaints I made earlier in the video about the crowd night 1, forget all that, man. They brought it tonight, that crowd tonight. Man, okay. This is already gonna be a long video, so let's get into my notes. Stephanie gets the show started, night 2. Now we have Drew versus Seth. Drew came out super hot with the bagpipes. I assumed Drew was gonna win this match. I think that was my prediction last night. Seth came out in a different outfit to the night before. He had this marching band with him. Crowd seemed to be 100% behind Seth early. Drew hits a big Claymore right off the bat. And then he goes ringside and he posts a tweet and it's like, bored at work, lol. Like, dude is just, he's playing up that heel so good. Seth is getting messed up early, selling some injuries. He had some like tape on his back and things like that. So many kickouts. And then Drew ends up winning it pretty quickly. And CM Punk was the guest commentator for this match. And I know they have a little bit of a feud, and I even wrote down here, is there a cash-in coming? Because the match was over so quick. I'm like, are they gonna have Damian Priest cash in right here? There was a shot of Seth after the match. It looked like he was crying, and I can't really read lips. But it looks like Seth said, "You deserve it, man," as in he deserves the title. So I don't know, this whole weekend with Seth, it kind of maybe felt like he's going away for a bit. And then Drew goes ringside. And Drew starts taunting CM Punk, getting in his face, talking trash, going back and forth. And then Punk hits him. Punk just starts beating the hell out of Drew McIntyre. And then Damian Priest comes running in with the briefcase, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Throws Drew McIntyre into the ring. 1, 2, 3, boom. Damian Priest is your men's heavyweight champion, taking it off Drew McIntyre. Cashing in after like 200 and something days, I think, with the Money in the Bank briefcase. CM Punk is just hitting like these super smug faces and gloating. I loved that. And I loved the parallel, like the storytelling here. Drew got like so caught up in the feud with Punk that he wasn't fully focused on the match in front of him, and that cost him the title. Character development, long-form storytelling, that's a theme of this WrestleMania. Then we come to the street fight. Snoop Dogg made this entertaining. Really, this match was kind of just a transition match. Bubba Ray Dudley was the guest ref. I thought that was kind of cool. The tables come out early. Dawkins takes the first big spot of the night. Scarlett hits Bobby with the stick. And then I think it was Karrion Kross is like getting in Bubba Ray Dudley's face because he didn't count to 3 or something. And Bubba Ray puts the glasses on, he pulls them out of his pocket. And then at that point he's like completely on the Street Profits side, like helping them out. The ending gets botched. They try to put Karrion Kross up on the table, but the table just breaks immediately. So they have to hit a second table. And then Bubba Ray counts out Karrion Kross while nobody's like pinning him because like, he's clearly showing favoritism. It was a fun little match. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. The start of this match was weird. They had like this Slim Jim thing going on. LA Knight gave a woman a card, like he gave her the keys to a car because she won a sweepstakes or something. But I don't think she believed it was real. I don't know, she was like, oh, this is like WWE, so this is fake too. But like, she looked like her reaction was very weird to just being given a car. I wrote down that the AJ and AJ Styles stands for absolutely juicing because dude came out huge. Match started super hot, and what I loved in this match, and this was a thing all weekend, but because you're in an outdoor venue, the wind was like blowing through people's hair, and like there's some real majestic shots. LA Knight reversed off the ropes, and then Knight rips up the padding on the floor, exposing the concrete or whatever it is underneath. But then he gets reversed into it. Then LA Knight hits the BFT in the pin. And apparently this is LA Knight's first ever Mania, and he gets the win here, so that's pretty cool for him. Then we have the Randy Orton versus Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens match. Logan came in on a prime truck. I said, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I think Logan's gonna retain here. But then, as Kevin Owens is coming out, Sami Zayn's there to hype him up, much like Kevin Owens was night one. He's like, it's your turn now. Orton comes out as Kevin Owens is like driving to the ring. He had like a golf cart thing. They go in together. Immediately they gang up on Logan Paul. And I have to say, Logan Paul takes bumps and sells like crazy. Dude is getting hit, getting tossed around, and he's good at this. Randy and KO finally decide to fight each other. Logan hits him with a double buckshot lariat, and then the crowd has some amazing chants. At first, the crowd starts chanting Gatorade, and then they start chanting, "We want water." Logan gets power slammed and then gets hit by a moonsault by Kevin Owens. He kicks out at 2. Logan pulls out the brass knuckles again. Orton goes down, kick at 2. Then there's an RKO, and then the Prime Bottle saves Logan. And it's I Show Speed in the Prime Bottle who starts barking at Randy Orton. Randy Orton puts I Show Speed through a table. Pop-up powerbomb to RKO. Then Logan tosses Randy out of the ring, and a frog splash onto Kevin Owens. Retain. Logan Paul wins. Now I know a lot of people are going to be annoyed by this. I find it kind of annoying. Like, I'm not I Show Speed's demographic, right? I'm old. But it is brilliant marketing on the behalf of WWE to bring in Logan Paul, who's a popular social media star. And then his gimmick, there's obviously going to be like different popular streamers in that Prime Bottle every time. Because last time it was like KSI, I'm pretty sure. This time it was I Show Speed. Next time, I don't know, maybe it's like Kai Cenat. Or, whoever. And then that's like, you're now, all those people who are watching them, but aren't watching your show, now they're seeing clips of WWE, they're talking about WWE, the person they watch is talking about it. So that's like, even if like 1%, 2% of those get people's viewers, buy merch, buy a pay-per-view, whatever, like that's good money, because those are really popular guys. So I think that's gonna be Logan's, like part of Logan's gimmick. Somebody new, some other big social media star is gonna be in that Prime Bottle every time. Now we come to our women's championship match: Bayley versus Io Sky. Good back and forth early. This was my second favorite match of the night. The work rate in this match was insane. I wasn't really familiar with either of these women. I'd not watched Bayley before. I don't think I've seen Io Sky before. But they were both really good. They had a really high work rate. Like, they were just hitting so many moves and stuff. Like, they really impressed me in this match. I didn't have a dog in the match. I didn't really care either way who won. But the crowd did seem to be heavily behind Bayley. Io gets sent over the barricade. Io hits a top rope moonsault on Bayley ringside. Bayley is talking smack, and then Io slaps her in the face. Bayley hits a huge clothesline. The crowd is going absolutely nuts, and Bayley pins and wins. Now we come to the main event. This is what I really want to talk about. Fantastic opening promo, and the entrances. Cody had this like skull mask on, kind of a little weird, but he had this entrance with like these flags and stuff, and he had his wife with him. As soon as I saw his wife with him, I was like, okay, Cody's gonna win. Like, that immediately alleviated my anxiety. And he had the Homelander shoulder pads. Now, last year on Halloween, I was Homelander for Halloween. I still have my Homelander costume. I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe I'll be Cody Rhodes for Halloween this year, because basically Homelander. Gives me an excuse to bleach my hair. Cody chants to start the match. Cody sends Roman into the post, like hard. hurt, to where I was like, ooh, Roman might have actually hit his head there. But then Cody goes to lift the apron to pull out a table. And when Cody lifts the apron, you saw there was somebody down there. You saw an arm covered in tattoos. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's The Undertaker. Because this whole time, all the build up to this, people thought it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thought it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. But the more that I think about it now, it makes more sense that it's Undertaker, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Roman dodges the kendo stick. Cody gets a huge suplex outside the ring. Crossroads catch into a powerbomb by Roman. Then Roman hits Cody with the last ride, and I'm like, that's foreshadowing, baby. Cody Roman hit each other with simultaneous clotheslines to catch a breather for a second. Back and forth punches. Cody gets the upper hand. Huge disaster kick by Cody. Pin attempt to kick out at 2. Roman hits Cody with his own crossroads, and Cody kicks out, and there's this really funny bit of smack talk. Roman like talking to Paul Heyman. He's like, this move sucks. Nobody ever loses to this move. Foreshadowing. Long form storytelling. Bionic elbow by Cody. Cody gets put through the table. Superman punch by Roman. Cody kicks out at 2. Cody cutter. Roman kicks out at 2. I'm already like on the edge of my seat. Like, this is a great match. And there had been no interferences yet. We're probably like 10-15 minutes into the match at this point. Nobody had come in yet. And I love that. That's the smart choice. Don't blow your load early. Pardon my phrasing. Cody hits Roman with a spear. Roman kicks out at 2. And then finally Jimmy Uso comes in to help Roman. And then our first Cody venture of the night. Jey Uso comes in. And then Jey and Jimmy put on a performance that's better than their night 1. If they would have done this kind of stuff night 1, like, it would have been better. But they literally go over the ramp. Like, they go down. That was an awesome spot. Double crossroads. And this whole thing, Cody's trying to hit the 3 crossroads like he couldn't last year. He got the 2. Can't hit him with the 3rd crossroads in a row. Cody gets 1 crossroads, gets a 2nd crossroads. Solo Sikoa comes in and hits Cody with the, is it the Samoa bomb, I think. He was late to his spot, which is funny because Cody hit his 2nd crossroads and he kind of sat there and he looked over because he was expecting Solo to be there and he wasn't. And then Cody kind of takes a pause and he looks back, and then finally Solo's there. So I think he was a little bit late to his spot. And as soon as I saw that it was Solo, I was like, please, John Cena needs to show up right now. And it was interesting as you saw the dynamic between Solo and Roman. Solo was like, finish him, and Roman was like, I know. So I was like, oh, maybe trouble in paradise. Then there was Samoa Spike. There was a spear Samoa Spike combo. Cody gets out both of them at the same time. He kicks out. And then, brum, 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 bum, 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 bum. John Cena comes running in. Solo goes through the table. Bro, I'm hype on this. You guys can tell I'm pumped. John Cena is out of the ring. Can you smell? The Rock comes out with a dope vest, glasses, and John's reaction was so good because he kind of looks at him and he has this kind of like this determined but scared, goes into the ring, tries to hit him with, boom, he gets down, and then, so it's Rock now, with Cody there. Rock has the belt, ready to whip Cody. The Shield theme starts playing, and I think me and everybody else were like, did they get Dean Ambrose back? I thought, because I'm like, Dean Ambrose is an AEW John Moxley. If they got Dean Ambrose here, like, I was ready for that. but it was Seth Rollins who had dyed his hair between his first match and now, which is dedication, looking like Seth Rollins from The Shield. Roman spears Seth to save The Rock. So you're like, oh no. It's still 2-on-1, and Rock has the belt. He's getting ready to whip Cody. Bong. The lights go out, and I was just like, I literally was sitting on my chair and I screamed. I was like, ah. It goes dark. Bong. Lights come on. And Rock is like pointing and talking. He's like, I'm the final boss. To talking. Taker's behind him. Just Rock turns around and Taker just boom. Choke slam. You see. These are my notes. It's gonna be out of focus because this camera has a very shallow focus and it's on me at the moment. The Rock. It's just all caps and exclamation points from there on. Taker, jokes, like my notes became incomprehensible. And I think this makes more sense than Stone Cold, and I'll tell you why real quick. Stone Cold comes out, it becomes all about Stone Cold and The Rock. Because that's a huge, iconic rivalry. And it makes sense here because The Rock is calling himself the final boss. The Undertaker, for more than a decade, was the final boss of WWE. It didn't matter how over you were. It didn't matter how big and bad you were. The Undertaker was always better than you. Until Brock Lesnar beat him, but Undertaker was the final boss of WrestleMania for more than 2 decades. So that actually makes a lot of sense in my mind. And also, he does not take the spotlight away from Cody, especially because he was not in his dead man attire. I think that was all intentional. Because it's just boom, lights, choke slam, lights go out. And the lights came back. Undertaker and Rock were both gone. I think they went out the back. So, now it's just Cody and Roman. Everything else is done. I said this is the best thing I've ever seen. Roman gets a chair. Excuse me, Seth Rollins is still in the ring. Seth Rollins is standing there. You see Roman getting ready to hit Cody. He looks over at Seth. And he's thinking back to when Seth hit him with the chair. He looks at Seth. Boom. Seth with the chair. Hit Seth with the chair. Long form storytelling. Cooking. Triple H was cooking. And they hired the Marvel Studios writers. I don't know if you guys knew that. WWE hired some of the writers who helped with Marvel Studios. So yesterday was Infinity War, today was Endgame. Because they were literally following the exact structure of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Crossroads, second crossroads, third crossroads, finish the story, boom, 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 and your new Cody Rhodes. Dude, I cried a little bit. This is my first WrestleMania and I'm 100% bought in. I'm 100% emotionally invested now to see what happens. I'm all in, dude. I've pushed in my chips. Gotta get a Cody shirt for sure. I gotta do it. The champion shirt that they put out looks kinda lame, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm just gonna get the logo. And they have this big, everyone's in the ring with Cody. They're giving him hugs, holding him up on the shoulders. The crowd's going, whoa. Triple H comes out, gives him a hug. Triple H is crying. And I don't know if you saw, but there's an angle. They didn't show it on the broadcast, but I've seen a couple pictures of it online when Cody is pinning Roman. Roman's smiling. Roman's like, we did something really dope here. Roman's smiling at that pin, so yeah, it's a lot. And I'm like so hyped right now. This part 2 is probably so much worse than part 1 of this video. But I'm bought in. This was my first WrestleMania. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. As soon as I get done editing this video, I'm gonna go rewatch it. Because it was incredible. And if you haven't watched it, and if for whatever reason you're watching this video without watching WrestleMania, go watch the main event matches from. Go watch the thing. Watch the whole WrestleMania night 1 and 2. But if you don't want to do that, at least try to find a way to watch the main event night matches from both nights. Watch the ladder match from night 1. Watch the women's championship matches from night 1 and night 2. And watch that Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins match as well. That's what I would tell you. But honestly, at that point, just watch it all the way through. Anyway, guys, wow, amazing! I'm so hyped. I wish I was getting in because I decided to watch the Birth Elimination Chamber, but I wish I would have known about that earlier because I could have gone. And I don't know if they're gonna come back to Australia like anytime soon. I hope like maybe Birth was successful enough they decide to maybe do it again. If they come, I'm gonna make this promise right now on this channel. If WWE comes and hosts like a big event here in Australia, I'm gonna go. And there's a couple local wrestling, PWA I think it's called, in Sydney. I should go to one of those shows. That'd be dope. They host like a wrestling school out here, and they do shows. I've seen it advertised a little bit. Anyways, I'm bought in 100%. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about WrestleMania 40 in the comments down below. I'd love to hear y'all feedback about that. But guys, if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe for more videos just like this almost every single day. And until next time, guys, bye bye.